What's going on, y'all? My name is Trey Divorce. This is Infinity Father Podcast, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Shout out to all the dads out there that's doing their thing. Shout out to all the dads out there that's taking care of their business. Shout out to all the dads out there that's even at least trying, you feel me? Shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to all the dads out there that got a newborn baby, man. I got some advice for y'all that an old white lady told me in the hospital when I was getting when my newborn was coming in. She said, when that baby go to sleep, you go to sleep. When that baby take a nap, you take a nap. Because if you don't, and that baby wake up and you still tired, ain't no going to sleep, nigga. You gonna be tired, dead tired. And from that tired comes stress. You feel me? And from that stress comes broken homes. From that stress comes broken homes. Now she ain't say that last part, but I just made that last part up because that's real though. That's real. But we got a video right, that we watching, man. That we got a video that we're reacting to, man. It's how a 25-year-old dad built a 3.2 million business. Sheesh. After a toxic breakup. Shout out to all the single dads out there that been through a toxic breakup. Shout out to y'all. And also I want to say I am extremely tired. It's 3:24 in the morning, but I am extremely dedicated to finish this Father Infinity video, man. So shout out to everybody that's listening. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Let's get to it.
2021, you put out this tweet. I'm going to read it to you and I want your reaction.
All right.
Okay, you said, 7 months ago, I left a very toxic relationship. In my 7 months of healing, I got my first apartment, got a new car, made over $300,000, tripled my net worth, gained 34 pounds, gained over 30,000 new followers, traveled over 7 times just this year. Grateful. So here's where I want to start because I always like to get the context. And so I just want you to take me back to that time. Take me back and coming out of that relationship and even the context of that relationship. Why was that such a transformational period for you?
That's a great question. Let me be honest, right? I didn't notice that I was in a very toxic relationship until there was times where I was out of it. So what I mean by that is throughout the entirety of that relationship, I didn't realize that I had an anchor on my ankle. And the problem is that the dreams and the goals that I had set, my significant other couldn't fathom that. And that's why I feel like there's a big difference between hanging around people who understand your vision and just being around people for the time being. And what I realized,
I'm not gonna lie, nobody ever again is just gonna be around me for the time being. If you coming around me, you gonna be doing something. If you coming around me, you gonna be doing something that involves your goals and my goals. Ain't no more just chilling. Ain't no more just sitting around. Ain't no more just talking. Ain't no more none of that. Niggas got kids out here, bro. Ain't no more just hanging out. Like shout out to my cousin Justin. Shout out to Judah. You feel me? Sometimes he come over. All he want to do is play Madden. All he want to do is play Madden. You feel me? But I'll be like, nah, we not about to do that, bro. I'm not about to sit at home all day and play Madden with you. Now, I will play Madden with you after we do this podcast. You know what? After we do 2 podcasts, I will hop on Madden with you. But we got to get some type of work done. Ain't no more just hanging out just to hang out. Ain't no more just having people around me just to have people around me for, like he said, for the time being. That's done and over with.
is throughout that time period, bro, leaving that relationship allowed me to see that it is possible for me to go out there and achieve the things that I want, despite what you think about what you want for yourself. And I think that was a transformational thing for me because before it was always these limiting beliefs on myself. Oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or even just reaching 10,000 people on a video or something like that is out insane or unheard of, or $100,000 in the bank is unheard of. And it's because I was hanging around people who thought like that. So I think with leaving that relationship, I think one of the biggest things for me was I had to upgrade. I always think of myself as a person, if I leave any situation, I have to come out on top at the end. And that's the only thing I thought about. So once I left out of that relationship, I felt like I had a soul tie. Like I feel like I had got so used to being around somebody or somebody being around me all the time.
Soul ties is real.
I didn't know how to be alone anymore. And that's when I realized I need to be alone. I didn't want to be alone. I needed to be alone. So I put down the alcohol, put down the weed. I stopped going out and kicking it every single week, and I just stopped. I cold turkeyed everything, and I said, you know what? Over the next 6 months,
That alone time is so important. That alone time is when you find out what type of person, what type of man you really is. That alone time you'll find out what type of, are you the type of man that's gonna, you know, get swallowed up. Shout out to TDJs. Are you type of man that's gonna get swallowed up? You feel me? And just be in depression and be sad all the time? Or are you gonna be a man that's gonna get to it? Like he said, go work out, go to the gym, you feel me? Stop the smoking, stop the drinking, you feel me? And do all this positive stuff to reach your goals. What type of man are you? That's what the alone time is really for. It's really gonna show you what type of man are you. Are you a go-getter? Or are you just a bum?
I'm gonna just challenge myself. Like, do you really want to become this version of yourself that you always tell people you want to be? Do you want to just keep tweeting it, or do you want to be the person and then tweet different things because the next version of yourself is even better? And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So I started going to the gym. I started eating healthier. No more weed, no more alcohol. I didn't feel like I was under a soul tie or anything like that. And you can get a lot of stuff done when your focus isn't on pleasure and desires and lust. You can get a lot of stuff done.
You know, one of the things, and it's almost scary to think about, because
The people who know me, he mentioned weed, and all the people out there that really know me know I smoke weed. But I will say this: I was talking to somebody the other day. You feel me? Like, I'm done on Monday. I'm not smoking weed no more. On Monday, it's done and over with. On Monday, like, I'm throwing my bongs away. Anything that got to do with weed is getting thrown in the trash on Monday, cause I want to see where I can be at with 100% focus. I want to see where I can be at with 100% focus. I'm not in a toxic relationship no more. You feel me? And so if I drop that and then drop the weed and drop this and that, whatever that's keeping me stagnant, you feel me? I want to see, without those things, where would I be at? And he said he gave himself 6 months. I'm not smoking for a whole year. You feel me? Let's get back.
our circle, the people that are around us, have such an incredible impact on how we live our life.
Yeah.
And even when, you know, we put out a vision, or we put out that we want to achieve a certain thing, so much of us achieving that outcome is going to be guided by who's around us.
Yes.
What's the environment around us? No matter how special or how talented you are, it's just the case. And I think when you're in the wrong situation, sometimes it's so hard to even detect it, to even feel it, to even have any awareness of the fact that you're in the wrong situation, the wrong environment. And so I'm curious for you, reflecting back, because in the moment you didn't know that it was toxic.
Yeah.
But reflecting back, what were some of those signs? What were some of those indicators that you're like, nah, it just wasn't the right situation?
I think the biggest sign for me is the lack of ability to dream. I think that any person who wants to become extremely successful has to have an insane amount of imagination and craziness to you. And I think that you won't see the success that you want in the time frame that you want, but it takes a lot of delusion to keep going even when you don't see it. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest signs. If I'm with a partner, right, and they can't understand the dream that I have or understand the vision, especially as a man, how do you expect me to lead if you're not willing to see the vision or trust in my vision and allow me to lead? And
Oh my gosh. As men, we want to lead. As fathers, we want to lead our household. But like he said, if you don't trust my vision, if you don't trust my goals, how am I supposed to lead? And I've seen situations where they don't not only they don't trust their goal or trust their vision, you feel me? Not only even though they say they want that man to lead, right? But not only that, they'll be jealous of you. The spirit of jealousy will start to go in your significant other's heart. You feel me? Like, all that toxic shit breeds a lot of things, and jealousy is one of them. You feel me? If you see your partner trying to downplay your goals and dreams, if you see your partner trying to feel like if you reach your goals and dreams, it's a detriment to their goals and dreams. You feel me? If you are in a situation like that, leave, because you're not gonna ever get to the next level. You're not gonna ever get to the next level where the Most High God wants you to be at. Or you could be like Ezekiel, where God gave his wife a stroke. Because he loved his wife more than God, and God wasn't feeling that. So God went ahead and got her up out of there. Well, let's get back.
I think that was one of the biggest things for me, because even then, at that age, I was 21, that was what, 21, 22 years old. I already had a certain type of level of thinking, or a way of thinking where I knew I wasn't the same as everyone else. And I took that on as a part of my persona, and I communicated that. But I also had to go do enough research on myself. I had to spend more time with myself. I had to learn, well, why do you feel like this? Why does this make you uncomfortable? This post right here that you just seen has you feeling like a little anxious, or you doubting yourself. Why? And it takes a long time to understand those things and to even address them. And these are things that people, in most cases, just skip by. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, it's like you said, your environment. Nipsey said it the best. If you hang around 9 broke people, you're bound to be the 10th. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be successful, you should probably flip it around and hang around 9 successful people. Now, how do you get around those successful people? Nobody's going to tell you that, right? You just got to better yourself so you can get in those positions, in those environments.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I think about you being 21, 22, and having that awareness at that age that I'm different, but not only am I different, I'm confident being different.
Yeah.
And this seat that I sit in is a very unique one, like just interviewing and having the guests on that we do on this podcast. And if I was going to say a common trait, right, across all of these successful people that we've had, is, first of all, there's a differentiator. There's something about them which is a bit special. It's a bit different. But I think everyone has that.
Yeah.
The second part is actually more rare, which is the confidence. Yeah. They embrace it. I think a lot of people that are different are trying to be like everyone else.
Facts.
And so I'm curious for you, like when you just reflect back on your life, what is the earliest kind of moment, story, experience where you were like, yeah, I'm just different, but I'm confident with that. Like, that's just me. I'm confident with it.
Before he even get into that, I think at 21, I was just trying to figure out what I'm going to do after basketball. I was still trying to figure that out. You feel me? And at 21, I came up with the Infinity World, Black Love, Infinity, all the stuff I'm doing now. I came up with that around that time period. You feel me? When I was 21, 22 type stuff. But you know what? I didn't have the confidence like this young man. I had people around me. Who's telling me, hey, that plan's not going to work. Hey, maybe we should try something different. Hey, that shirt's too basic. Then it turns out that's one of everybody's most favorite designs. You feel me? But I got told one of my designs was basic, which turns out to be a lot of people's favorite. But at the time, you feel me, that hurt me. I was like, dang. So around 21, 22, I stopped low key. I was like, man, this ain't about to work. Or niggas, like, it was always somebody trying to downplay my goals and dreams. So over time, it hit my confidence. It hit my confidence. And this is the Father Infinity podcast. I want to give a big shout out to my dad, to my pops. You feel me? Because my pops, you feel me? Maybe a lot of people around me was saying that, but to my pops, he was always telling me, yo, dream big. You feel me? He always told me there ain't nothing you can't do. You feel me? He always instilled that. He always instilled confidence in me. Right now, shout out to Fatera. I'm just a confident nigga. Right now, I'm a confident nigga because of my pops. Shout out to Fatera. I got a story. Shout out to Fatera because she always be talking about how she talked to this rich dude, how she talked to that rich dude, how she talked to this rich dude, how this nigga got this type of car, how this nigga got that type of car, and everything like that. Now, mind you, you feel me? I got like a 2007 Honda. You feel me? I got a hoopty for real. But she be telling me how all these niggas is rich. So one day I was just like, and one day she was like, I've been in all these cars and this and that and this and that. Like, but right now, man, like she was trying, low key, she was trying to like throw shade a little bit at me, a little bit. But I had to go and tell her, like, yo, like, I'm just that nigga. Like, I don't care who you was with. I don't care what type of car they had. Them niggas ain't me. Them niggas ain't me. And that's the type of confidence my pops instilled in me. I don't care who you are. Nigga, you not me. You can't dream bigger than me. You can't have no visions bigger than me. You can't do what I do, nigga. You can't do none of that. That's the type of nigga I am. That's the type of nigga that's the type of confidence that my pops instilled in me. I didn't care who was on the court with me. I always felt like I was the best person on the court. I don't care who you was. I don't care if you was the number 1 player in Arizona. I don't care if you was top 10 player in Arizona. I don't care who you was. I was better than you. Just like I had to tell Patera, I don't care what type of niggas you was with. Them niggas ain't me. That's why you in my hoopty driving around. You feel me? Cause I'm me. So shout out to my pops, man. I will always forever love him for instilling that type of confidence in me. Also, he with God, anything is possible with God. All things is possible with God. You feel me? So never try to downplay yourself. Never think little. Never let anybody try to downplay your goals. You feel me? Always think big, dream big, and take action.
I think there's a few, and I think if I were to generalize them and keep them all compact, I think it was high school. And high school taught me a lot because I was an athlete. I was playing basketball. But I think the thing that really stuck out to me as far as me knowing that I was different was I was, trying out for the basketball team. So I just came into high school. Ninth grader, had braces still. And I think I remember it was like the second or third month of starting in high school. I got my braces off and my teeth were super white, super straight. And everyone just looked at me differently because naturally when you have a nice smile, you're going to attract, people to look at you and talk to you and all those things. And I didn't realize how big of an impact that had made until probably like 2-3 weeks afterwards, where I was talking to girls who are older than me now. I'm finding myself in certain cliques or in certain environments where I wasn't normally getting into. And I think one of the transformational moments for me was trying out for the basketball team and having this ego, like, I know I can do it. I know I can make it. I'm this person, right? And then getting cut on the first round. And for me, it was like I was already playing in the YMCA growing up, and I was playing all these, different, camps and things like that to get better and better and better. But I just noticed I wasn't always good as everybody else. I didn't have the bounce. I didn't have the speed. I didn't have the critical thinking to make the moves at the right time. And I was like, at that moment when I got cut, I was like, I'm not as talented as them. And I think when I took that on as a part of my persona, I said, and especially at ninth grade, you got to be really critical to tell yourself you're not talented, right? But I told myself I'm not as talented as everybody else. So something has to give. So I just started working harder than everybody else. And that's when I was like, you know what? I just got to go to the gym every single day. I got to just go put up 200-300 shots a day. I got to watch all the inspirational, motivational videos I can, because right now I'm getting beat up right now, getting cut. Yeah. And that summer, I just practiced and practiced and practiced. Next year, I made the team. But this time, I didn't get any minutes. So now it was like, oh, I'm on the team, but now people's making fun of me because I'm around the bench. Yeah. So it was like, all right, I got to get better and better and better.
Ah, man, that nigga should have quit. No, I just joking.
Better, and the only way you can do that is through practice. So I was like, all right, cool. 11th grade, I'm like, I got this in the bag, right? I'm going to make the team. Get cut second round. And it was like, it hurt my feelings because it was like, well, I thought I had my way in. I made the team last year. And it showed me that your position is never truly secured unless you make it secured. And I'm always moving through life like, I don't have an ego where I'm like, I'm this person, so I should get this thing. Fuck that. I am who I am. And with me being who I am, a part of me being me is knowing that I have to outwork every single person because I'm not talented in these areas. I may be good at certain things, cool, but they still need to be perfected. They still need to be better. And that's just kind of how I look.
Definitely got to know your strengths and weaknesses. Most definitely, that's important. That's definitely important, knowing your strengths and weaknesses.
Look at things. So ninth grade is where I really noticed, like, I'm not that good at it as everybody else in things, but that's perfectly fine because I'm the best me. I'm the only me. And I just take that on.
Yeah, 100%.
Then I just say that, nigga, I'm me. Did I just say that? Me. Now that's crazy. He got cut. How you gonna make the team 10th grade, but get cut 11th grade? That means some couple of niggas that came freshman year came that year and took your spot. A couple of young niggas came out of 8th grade to freshman year, took your spot when you was in 11th grade, bro. That's crazy, bro. But I remember freshman year, you feel me? I didn't make the varsity team that I thought I should have made, But that, you feel me? That didn't hurt my confidence though, cause I went out there, you feel me, in the AAU circuit, and I was one of the best players in the AAU circuit in Arizona. You feel me? I think we went out. Then we went to Colorado and we won nationals. You feel me? I was making a point that year. I was making a point that year, bro. Like, we beat a couple of teams that was ranked national. That's all I like, bro. Like, shout out to my pops, man. Shout out to my pops. Bro. Ain't nobody ever like, I ain't never lost confidence. You feel me? No matter what situation I'm in, no matter what position I'm in, I know Most High God got my back. That's why I'm really confident. You feel me? Because I know the Most High God got my back. As long as I'm doing what He wants me to do, I know He got my back. You feel me? So that's what it is. What it is.
Now that's cool as well, because I remember, and it's relevant because I just heard Jay-Z's speech at the Grammys.
Yeah.
And he was talking about just keep showing up, just keep showing up, keep showing up. And even the story that you told me, it reminds me of something I heard from Kobe. And he was talking about playing basketball in Italy and like growing up. And he was like kind of a small, like weedy kid at the time.
Yeah.
And he even said, he was like, I was fast, but I wasn't the fastest. I was agile, but I wasn't the most agile. I was kind of tall, but I wasn't the tallest. But he just saw that gradually as he kept putting in the work, like summer after summer. And I think that was like his time, like the summers, like after school. It was like when he really just practiced his craft. And it's actually a beautiful thing. And I've seen it in my own life where like, it's like you can just feel yourself catching up.
Yeah,
like the people that have the natural talent, they're just ahead of you, but they don't have their work ethic isn't tested yet.
Yeah.
And so you've got the work ethic, and then slowly you're just catching up, just closing distance. And it's actually an exciting process to be a part of, just to feel that like I'm getting closer. You know what? I want to bring it back to the relationship, because I think so often, and I think this is the reason why it's hard to detect when you're in the wrong situation, that it's not a lot of the times one big thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting slowly like paper cutted, almost like just paper cutted to death.
Yeah.
And you even alluded to it, like drinking, smoking. Talk about like what your life even looked like during that relationship.
Okay, quick break. One of the stories that I see time and time again in the comment section of every video are people that want to start an online business but don't know where to start. And so I wanted to correct that.
Very comfortable and not comfortable in a positive way. You see, I think that what happens is when you're comfortable in a relationship, you forget what you were dreaming of in the first place. So now everything becomes an illusion around you and the dream is gone. So now you're just letting days just go by, every single day, the same stuff over and over. And when I was in that relationship, this was right around the prime time of me getting kicked out of my mom's house. So this is when I was sleeping on the floor. And, you know, I had to take out the couch cushions and slam them on the floor and then grab a sheet and then put it over and then grab my girlfriend's sister's.
Hold on, bro. Shout out to the bro. Again, shout out to the bro Mike, bro. I forgot what side of town of Phoenix niggas was living on, bro. But niggas used to get the couch cushion, put the covers over there. Niggas would sleep on that. Niggas was knocked out. That's funny he said that, man. Shout out to my bro Mike.
Just twin size bed and lay it next to it, and now this is our bed. And this is, you know, a 6-month-old baby who doesn't understand anything. And then there's her, and then there's me, us sleeping on the floor. And I'm playing Call of Duty every morning when I get back, or every afternoon when I get back from work. And I'm waking up at 6 a.m. just to go to the factory. I'm getting off at 3 p.m. every single day, and I would try to drown out the fact that I just worked all these hours. I would get off and I would take off all my stuff. I would wash up and it would be a ring of dirt in the inside of the tub, and then I would have to clean it out and scrub it. And I'm just sitting there scrubbing like, I fucking hate this shit. But I would go play the game because it would distract me from the hate that I was feeling inside. And it didn't start affecting me too much until like when we talked about in the last podcast, like catching mice. Like that'll, depending on who you are and what type of environment you're used to growing up in, like I didn't have to do that when I was growing up as a kid. But turning 18, 19, going like, you normally think people go up and up and up through life. Like that was a moment where I was like going up, and then I took a huge step back to a level I've never been at. So I had to relearn how to even live my life, because the lens that I'm living it through now is not something I'm accustomed to.
Yo, what he's saying is so heavy and deep. Pause. Because I was a kid, you feel me? I was a kid that was a spoiled kid, you feel me? Like I had a room full of all my Jordan shoes, just for the Jordan shoes. I had a room just for the Jordan shoes. People gonna laugh, but I had the water tank thing that you with the dispenser you put the water. I had one of those in my room full of Kool-Aid. Like we had regular washing machines and dryers. I ain't never had to scrub none of that. Had a good, comfortable bed, cable, all of that. But there was a point in time when then I got out there by myself, and I took like he said, I was going up, and I took to a point I'd never been at. It was uncharted territory, and that point where that really tested me. You feel me? Like I was at a point where I was at my lowest low. I wasn't eating nothing. I was starving. I was broke. You feel me? I was like he was saying, like he would go to work, come back home, play the game all day, smoke. I was just doing shit like that. Like when I reached that point, I was just doing shit like that. So I definitely get what he's saying, because when you used to and accustomed to a certain lifestyle growing up, and then you get older and you hit rock bottom, that's different. That's when you really find out what type of nigga you is. That's when you really find out what type of man you is. You feel me? When you in uncharted territory and you don't know how to get out. But thankfully, thank God, I had a dad that been through ish. I had a dad that been through some ish and told me. And my pops is so. He would tell me. He would, in every situation I've been in, he would literally tell me what's gonna happen next. He would literally tell me what's gonna happen next, and then next thing you know, what he told me was gonna happen happens. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. So shout out to my pops, man, because he definitely helped me get out very hard and bad times. You feel me? You feel me? Just because he went through those things too, and now I could go to somebody and get advice. You feel me? So shout out to all the dads out there again, man. Stay y'all kids' life, bro.
So I think for me, that's when things kind of like I started realizing like, whoa, like this is not for me. I got to switch up everything. Like I can't keep working the same job. I got to go get a sales job. I got to start wearing suits. I got to start switching up how I talk. I got to make sure I'm smelling good, because I don't want to be the only person inside of the sales, position or sales room who doesn't look the part. And I just slowly started changing my mindset from there. But I think that was the key moment of like, I was comfortable. And I was comfortable eating the canned foods. I was comfortable not eating the stuff that I want, or having to penny pinch and buy Subway, or not being able to buy the medicine. I was comfortable with that. And then only until I started questioning what I truly wanted for myself and for my future is when I said, you know what? I shouldn't have to worry about paying for Subway. Like, why is that even a thing? Why am I tripping about $19.55 when I should have $100,000 in my bank account right now? Well, what does it look like to get that? Gotta work. That's all I knew. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go try every sales job position, because I know that my work ethic is crazy. And if it's one thing you can give me that I'll take advantage of, is an opportunity. And that's all I needed. And that's what I did.
Yeah. One of the things I just, and I just love it every time that we speak, is just like, you're just honest with yourself. And there's this quote that I've
And you know, in the beginning of the video, he said how he stopped drinking, how he stopped smoking, how he stopped doing this, how he stopped doing that, how he stopped doing that. Right? The Most High God, you will never get to the next level that the Most High God wants you to be on until he wants you to stop you stop what the Most High God wants you to stop doing. So that could be alcohol, that could be marijuana, that could be anything that the Most High God wants you to stop doing so you get to the next level. That's what he did. He stopped the alcohol. He stopped the drinking. He stopped the partying. Then the Most High God allowed him to get to that next level where he wanted to be at and where the Most High God wanted him to be at. So you got to figure out there. So shout out to all my dads out there. Shout out to all my young dads out there. You got to figure out what's your crutch. What's holding you back? Is it the weed that's holding you? Is it the weed that's holding you back? Is it the girl that you living with holding you back? What's holding you back? That you not getting to the next level, and that's something you got to figure out. I know a lot of times it's weed. A lot of times it's the weed or it's the alcohol that's holding you back from getting to that next level. Because weed is expensive. Alcohol is expensive. You feel me? Buying those PlayStation, Xbox games, it's expensive. The money you spend on weed, the money you spend on alcohol, the money you spend on playing games all day, you feel me? It's something you could have put towards your stocks, the stock market or something like that. Or bought a new car so you could do a medical carrier or something like that. And they get paid like $2,500 a week, bruh. Hey, I just found out medical carriers get paid $2,500 a week, bruh. Nigga, what? For terror. For terror. If you watching this, we going to the library. You gonna put me on. For terror, you gonna put me on. That's the last. We don't do nothing else. I need you to put me on. But anyways, you gotta figure out what's blocking you from your blessing that the Most High God wants you to be at, man. So y'all gotta figure that out. Just like I figured it out. That's why I want to see what it is. I'm not doing nothing. Anything that got to do with lust, anything that got to do with drugs, anything that got to do with anything that's a distraction, even games. I may sell my Xbox or something. Anything that got to do with a distraction, I'm not doing that no more for at least a good 8-9 months or to a year, man. Just to see where I'm at, just to see what's distracting me or whatever. You feel me? I just want to see where I'm at.
I've always held true, and I even have it in my phone by this scientist, this physicist, I believe, called Feynman. And he says the key is not to be a fool, and you're the easiest person to fool. Which is basically what he's saying is that we fool ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
We have a narrative over our own lives. And so you can be eating food out of the can, but there's an excuse. Oh, it's because this happened or this person did this. So there's a rationalization which makes you comfortable in that reality.
Yeah.
And whether it was the basketball team when you were in high school, whether it was that moment when you're sleeping in a mattress on the floor, there was a moment of extreme honesty.
Yeah.
Where it was like, fuck all of the rationalizations, excuses, whatever it is. Like, this is just the truth. And it's on me to do something about it. And so I'm just curious of like, there's a lot of people that just haven't had that moment. They just haven't had that moment yet. And I'm just curious for you to even just go deeper into what drove you to that moment of just extreme honesty, like nothing else, just me.
I think it's just an accountability thing, bro. Like, I think I've always blamed myself. Like, at the root of everything in my life, everything I've achieved, everything I've lost, it was always my fault. And I think that I can't credit something that didn't put me in that mindset, because that mindset is the sole mindset of why I am where I am. It was always my fault. 100%. If I'm sleeping on the floor, it's my fault. If I'm not making the money I want, it's my fault. If I'm not as fit as I want, it's my fault. If I'm not in a healthy relationship, it's my fault. Because most of these things come down to your ability to choose things. And I think that when people are presented options, they choose the one that is the easiest for them rather than going with the hard shit. And I just kind of realized throughout the last 5-6 years of my life, Every time I took the hard route, the thing that was the most challenging, it always had the best payoff. So I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna go do everything that's difficult. Even now, most people want to do 75 hard again after I completed it. Why wouldn't I? Right? It's like it's difficult, but it's based off of my ability to think about what I want for myself. And I think a lot of people have not had that realization yet because fear is keeping them comfortable. They don't know how to think past the fact that if I risk $1 today, there's a potential $4 coming back tomorrow. So without me having the surety or 100% knowing and the confidence of knowing that this is going to be a return, people don't take the risk. And what I found is that you can let every day go by, and the longer you delay taking that first step, the longer you could have been living the life that you always wanted to live.
Oh my gosh, Justin, did you hear that, bro? I'm sorry I gotta call out your name, bro. But that's all I remember me. Okay. Okay. That's all I remember me, my cousin Justin, and my kid's mother. We was on the phone, right? And I'm trying to explain to Justin and to her, like, nigga, you ain't got that, nigga. There's people, the longer you wait, the longer time will pass, the longer you ain't gonna get to it. At least make the first step. Get in the game. If you're not in the game, how you gonna complete the mission? At least get in the game, bro. I think that's all I be trying to tell people. At least get in the game. I know you want to plan stuff out. I know you want to be patient. But there's a time where you could be too patient. You feel me? Sometimes you just gotta get in the game and work and get to it. You feel me? Like, you ain't gonna make no money till you gotta spend money to make money. You gotta spend money to make money. You feel me? So go ahead and spend that money. Go ahead and just spend the money, bro. Just go ahead and buy it. Whatever you gotta buy for your business, whatever you gotta buy to get to the next step, whatever you, or if you giving, or just put, or you scared to put the money in the stock market because you don't really trust the stock market, just get in the game. Just put $10 in the stock market. Just get in the game, though. That's all I be saying.
You can turn any slogan or funny quote into a professional design in just minutes with one tool, making
Powerful. You know what? And I even read the tweet in the beginning. It's beautiful to see this process of like that moment of transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost like things are going this way and then it changes. And it seems like that coincided with the ending of that relationship. And you know what, when I even listened to you just now and you say that, I think the first step is actually the most important. It's the most difficult. I remember even Alex Hormozy said this recently, which is that first step in starting that new business or that new relationship or even approaching that girl, I don't know, signing a mortgage on that new house, the first step, that's the one which feels the most scary.
Yeah.
Feels like you're almost like crossing a chasm, like you're jumping off a ledge, right? That tweet that I said in the beginning and all of those changes that came after you left that relationship, do you remember kind of what day one looked like? What was the first step?
Bro, I had to learn how to just forgive myself. That was really hard for me. I think that I was so used to that relationship being a part of my identity that I forgot what I look like without it. And relearning yourself throughout that process is a very difficult process. And I think if I'm being honest with y'all, like, cameras off and everything like that, like, and I don't care if it goes up because this is me being honest and I don't care what anybody else thinks, but I had to cry that first week. Like, I had to understand pain because it was pain of love and I want you, but you don't want what's best for you. So I can't want you anymore. And it's hard to let go of something that you want because at the time that was the person I had my kid with. And it's like, I've always wanted, to be just like my grandfather. My grandfather and my grandmother were married for 60 plus years before he passed. And he had all 6 of his kids with the same woman, and all of them stayed in the same household. And he went to work every single day. And during the times where he was raising me, because I lived with him a lot of my life too, he would bring home my grandmother's Snickers. And that was her favorite thing, just the little small gestures. And I wanted that so bad that I was willing to put myself through pain. I was willing to sit there and know that I'm not going to reach this potential because she doesn't think this far out. And maybe, you know, whatever she thinks now is completely up to her. But at that particular time, I knew that I wasn't going to reach the destination I wanted to with her. So it's either you be okay with where you're at, or you let go and you go, you know, chase your dreams.
That's some advice that shout out to my cousin Quante, man. That's some advice that my cousin Quante told me, man. I swear, because I remember one day I was hot. I was heated, bro. Like, I used to get going through a toxic relationship, you honestly do forget your goals and your dreams. You honestly do forget who you are as a person. I became a mad person. I used to be a happy person, a person that smiled all the time, a person that laughed all the time. You feel me? In a toxic relationship, I became a mad person. I became an angry person that was mad all the time. You feel me? And but like he said though, like how he seen his grandpa and his grandma do it, I seen my mom and dad do it like that. So that's all I wanted. I wanted a family with both parents in the household, you know, a family with both parents in the household, the kids, a yard outside, everybody get to play outside, family trips, everything like that. So I feel him on that. When he said that first week, he cried, bro. Nigga, to be honest with you, I cried. I cried. That's because you literally losing somebody you love. But on the other hand, you know that this gotta happen. On the other hand, you know, like, dang, this gotta happen for me to get to the next step. You feel me? And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. Like, man.
And I feel like I have to chase my dreams. Like I owe it to myself. I owe it to my children. I owe it to my last name. There's nothing that's going to stop me from getting from what I need to get. I don't care how long it'll take. I'm the type of person to go every single day until I die. I bet you on my deathbed I won't regret anything.
You know what I think is difficult, and it arises in like every scenario in life, which is like a lot of the time we have this ideal or like perfect picture of what our life should be. And you spoke about your grandfather, and it's like, this is the vision. Like, this is, to me almost, and maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but you let me know. It's like, this is like the ideal of what a man should be.
Exactly.
Like, he's with one woman, he's committed to this, and it was only this. He had children with this woman, like, this is perfect. And sometimes it's like, it's so hard to accept. And I've had it personally where that's not your story though.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to let that vision die so that your story can be written. And even when you talk about just being incredibly emotional in that first week, that was that process of like almost grieving that vision of what it was meant to be had to die so that you could be what you are now.
Bro, I wholeheartedly believe like I brought up Ezekiel. I think I brought up Ezekiel earlier, right? Ezekiel in the scriptures, you feel me? He loved his wife. You feel me? He put the scripture said he put his wife. I want to say it's Ezekiel. If it's not Ezekiel, I believe it's Ezekiel though. I think it's Ezekiel, but if it's not Ezekiel, put it in the comments if I'm wrong. But Ezekiel put his wife first before God. Ezekiel extremely loved his wife. But the Most High God's a jealous God. The Most High God needed him. But he wasn't focused on what the Most High God needed from him and to do the mission because he was so focused on his wife. He was so focused on his wife, so Ezekiel couldn't even get to the next step that the Most High God wanted him to be at, wanted him to do. He couldn't even get to the mission because he was too focused on his wife. So what did the Most High God do to his wife? Most High God gave his wife a stroke. She died. Most High God killed Ezekiel's wife. So Ezekiel could get to the mission. You feel me? And that's what I feel like happened to me. I feel like even though that person God didn't kill him, but I feel like God knew as long as I'm with this person, As long as I'm giving this person all my time and energy, I would never get to the mission and the goals and all the things that Most High God wanted me to be at, because I was so consumed by that person. I did everything for that person. Every day I prayed for that person. I was consumed by that person. And the Most High God knew, like, nah, in order for him to get where I want him to be at, I gotta do some interference. I gotta run some interference. So I don't think it's a coincidence. As soon as me and that person, stop talking, things start to kind of roll. I start kind of getting close. I'm very spiritual. I am close to the Most High God. I even got even more closer to God. Shit started looking, everything that was blurry, things started looking clear. The questions I could never get an answer to, I was getting an answer to. It was like it was starting to be common sense. Like, oh yeah, it was. But before, I was so angry and mad because I'm in this relationship. I couldn't think straight. My mind was gone. And I feel like the most the Most High God ran interference. You feel me? To help me get to the next place I need to get to. You feel me? Now when I meet people out here, new people out here, like he said, you gotta meet people, be around people that's getting it, that's even trying to get it or getting it. That's on the same y'all on the same type of level. Now I'm not trying to say same type of level, but I guess same type of level. I forgot the other word I'm trying to say. Now I'm meeting people that's going along with what the Most High God wants me to do. Shout out to my friend. She was like, I was telling her, like, yeah, I'm doing DoorDash, I'm doing Uber right now. And she was like, bruh, she from South Carolina. She ain't definitely say no bro. But she was like, bruh, honestly, I think that you think. I think that you don't. What she told me? She said, I think that you don't understand that the level you think you on, you way surpassed it. Ain't nobody ever told me that. She said, the level you think you on, you super surpassed it. And I'm gonna need you to get your shit together. That's exactly how she was like. She didn't say those type of words, but she had the energy of that. Hold on real quick, y'all. Well, hold on. We just gonna get back to the video.
And like even past that, and it's difficult. Like it's so difficult to do that. And so here's what I want to ask you. Was there a moment of like wavering, right? Like where you've made this decision, you've been pulled by what you could be, by your potential, and you've started to go out and do it and do the things. Was there a moment of wavering? And I don't know how that wavering shows up. I don't know if it's like a text to your ex-girlfriend. I don't know what it is. But was there a moment of wavering of like, I just want to go back to that comfortable life?
Quick break. We're really in the era of personal content. Give you answers in seconds. We actually use cast
Later, after leaving that relationship, I'm like, for money to come to me when I was right. And
experiment with it. So go to the link in the description, try it out, thank me later, and without further ado, back to the show.
Yeah, I think that I started seeing success quickly, right? In that 7 months, you can get a lot done, like I said, when you're focused on you and learning yourself. And I think for me personally, I started, when I started accumulating more wealth, I realized how much easier it was for money to come to me when I was by myself. So I thought, hey, at this point in time, I had my first $100,000 liquid in the account. A couple months later, after leaving that relationship, I'm like, sheesh, maybe this can work. I have the money now. Let's try to rekindle and fix everything now. But here's the thing that I've learned: money cannot fix a person at all. It can't fix a person and make and help them think that, hey, this dream can come true, or hey, I do need to start doing this about myself. That's something that they have to, like, that journey they have to take on their own. And even with money, it still didn't solve the root of who you are. we just aren't compatible. What I dream and what I see and the way I imagine, the way I envision stuff, and the way I can close my eyes and vividly see something and then feel that it's tangible and then go fucking get it. That is something that you just didn't have at that point in time. And I cannot jeopardize when I'm building, because my last name is on the line here. My kids are on the line here. I cannot jeopardize this to sit here and try to figure out your life. I can't. And that's where I feel like you got to learn how to cut a lot of ties sometimes. And it's a difficult thing to do. But, you know, like I said before, it's who do I truly want to become? And will my future version be okay with the decision that I'm making today? If not, then you shouldn't make that decision. Same thing when it comes to friend groups. Same thing when it comes to friendships and relationships. Would my future self be okay with the decision that I'm making today? And, you know, I had a mentee reach out to me and he's like, man, you know, I messed up. I gave him some advice. He didn't take the right, you know, route. And I said, bro, this is a part of the process. You're supposed to make the wrong decisions so you know what the right decisions look like. You don't know the right decisions until you start going through the
fact.
wrong. So you embrace the wrong and you look forward to making the right ones.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I actually, one of the things I think that I've seen and I've experienced this, because I think you're 24, right?
25 now.
25, okay.
Yeah.
I'm 25. I'm about to turn 26. And it's just interesting, like, growing up as a man, because you have to go through these experiences to actually build true confidence. And there's a reason I say true confidence, because I think a lot of people mistake true confidence with bravado, with like flexing. It's not that. I think confidence is being able to do what you said, to be able to sustain making the wrong decision, to make a mistake, but then know that you're going to come back. It's having a certain level of poise. And it reminds me, there's this quote by Alex Hormozy, which I just absolutely love. And he goes, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Give yourself so much goddamn proof that you're the version of yourself you want to be, and you'll become it. Outwork your self-doubt. And it's true. It's like, you have to be tried and tested. It's the only way.
It's the only way. You gotta be tried and tested. I'm going through my trials and tribulations right now. And also goes with what I also always say on the Infinity Morning Show is, you feel me? That also goes along with the Most High God. How the Most High God know if you love him or not if you're not tried and tested? If you're not tested by Satan and you don't pass that test, you feel me? How the Most High God know you with him? How the Most High God know that you standing on 10 toes for him? Cause he you feel me? How? Cause everything is all roses and everything perfect. Most High God ain't gonna know when shit hit the fan. What you gonna do? Are you gonna fight for him? Are you gonna die for him? Shout out to my cousin Justin again. You feel me? When we got into that when we got to the debate with the homie uncle, you feel me? The homie uncle put out the gun. You feel me? Niggas ain't run. Niggas ain't do none of that. Shout out to Justin. He pushed the gun away. I'm so tired, y'all. I'm so tired. You know when you talking, you lose your train of thought when you so tired, bro. But yes, nigga, I feel like in that moment we was tried and we was tested and we passed by the Most High God. The man literally pointed the gun at us and said, now say y'all don't believe in God. Nigga, what? You think that little pistol scare us? That sure didn't scare me. You think I would rather get my head chopped off than renounce the Most High God. You feel me? And that goes the same way with what they talking about. You gotta be tried and you feel me? Like that's what makes it great. That's what's gonna make it real feel good. Cause you went through the trials, you went through the tribulations, you got tested and you passed. You went through it with flying colors, man. You got through it. Now you at where the Most High God wants you to be at, but you're not gonna get where the Most High God wants you to be at until you are tried and tested. That test may be old girl. That test may be again weed. That test may be alcohol. Is the plant stronger than your goals? Is the plant more? Is the plant? Do you love the plant more than God? You feel me? God may want you to stop smoking weed, nigga, so you could get to the next step. Is the alcohol more important? You feel me? Is old girl more important? Nigga, I definitely feel what he talking about. Niggas who grew up in a 2-parent household and seen their mom and dad together, raising you and your siblings. We want a family. We want that 2-parent household. So that's why it hurts us when they don't. That's why niggas be hurt. Niggas really be hurt when you come from a 2-parent household and the relationship between you and your kid's mother don't work. That shit hurt because the whole time you envisioning, right, that I'm gonna have the same thing that like my mom and dad had. But like dude said, sometimes what they had, maybe that's not in the plan for you. Maybe that's just not in the plan for you, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Feel me? And that may be one of the tests, the trials. You feel me? But let's keep it going, man. We almost done.
Only way is to be tried and tested and to go through those failures and bounce back and make the mistake and then figure it out. And you can't short circuit that process. And I think I'm curious for you to reflect on your own life, because I think a lot of people try and short circuit it.
Yeah.
And try and be like, oh, but if I get the car though, I don't need all of the undeniable stack of proof. I got the whip. The whip is nice.
Right.
I'm curious if you had scenarios, situations like that where it was like, in hindsight, I was almost trying to short circuit the process.
Yeah, man. I've done a lot of things now because my inner kid wanted me to do it. And I realized like that's the inner kid way of thinking. And I became more of an adult after I made those decisions. So I think that I have mixed emotions about it, right? So I think that you can go out there and buy the car and buy the jewelry and buy those things, and it can motivate you more to go get the higher level because you've kind of like checked one thing off your box. That's one way of thinking. The other way of thinking is trying to live a certain persona that isn't truly you. So for example, right? I had a great year. I think this was 2022. And I was like, you know what? I had like a whole bunch of money in the bank account, right? Nothing crazy to a lot of people, right? Who are super millionaires. But to me, it was a crazy amount of money, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go buy the jewelry. I'm going to go buy the car. So that week, I think it was like 2 weeks before we went into 2023, I spent, I think, almost $200,000 on jewelry and a car. I paid the car off in cash. I bought the chain. I bought the watch. I was like, what else do I need? I bought Louis Vuitton luggage and everything. And I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something that I just recently realized. I've probably worn my chain probably maximum 15 times because that's not who I am. I got something because...
That's funny because I remember a girl telling me, why don't you wear some chains or a necklace or some jewelry, bro? That's not me. I ain't never wore a necklace in my life. I ain't never wore a watch in my life. I'm not a jewelry type of person, you feel me? I hate when people do. I hate when people try to make you into something you not, or try to turn you to a nigga that they like or something. I don't know. I just hate people like that, bro. Just let me be me. You feel me? Just let me be me. I don't wear that fake ass jewelry these niggas be wearing. I don't want to wear that.
I got those things because those were hood trophies. I would look back as a kid and I would see those people, only people wearing it were drug dealers or rappers or athletes. So I wanted it so bad. And to get it as an entrepreneur, it felt even better. And then there's this short period of time where the satisfaction is there. And then right afterwards, it's what's next. And that's when I just started realizing, like, I don't think all of these things are a necessity. Like, yeah, it's cool to have, but only get what you truly like. Because for me, I could care less about the chain. I just bought it because I thought it would be cool and I wanted to get it because I was a kid and all this other stuff. But now it's like you said, there's people out there buying cars and buying all the things. You don't actually need those things. For me now at 25, the only thing I think about right now is cash flow. I don't care if I want a chain, if I want all that stuff, cool. But am I bringing in profitably 100K every single month? And that might be a small number to some people, and it might be huge to others. But if I'm looking at it like, can I bring in 100K every single month without missing a month, profitably, without driving myself crazy? You can buy whatever toy you want. I think people think that they have to become millionaires to live the lifestyle that you want. No, you just need a certain level of cash flow that can fund the life that you want. And I didn't realize that until like 23, 24, where it's like all this stuff that I'm buying could be spent on assets that could cash flow, that could pay for it in the future 1,000 times over again without me stressing. And when you build, companies and things like that, you start thinking from that perspective, especially when you're trying to use money from your business to fund your lifestyle, or you're paying yourself as an employee. You got to start thinking about stuff like that.
You know what's interesting? Right before we turn the cameras on and we start recording, we're talking about the last recording we did in New York, and we're even just talking about like just being locked in, just being dialed in. And there's someone that's listening to this right now that they're in that moment. And when I say in that moment, I think there's certain times in your life, I think about them as almost like inflection points, like turning points. Like it could either go way down or it's going to go way up. And it's really that binary. Like it's those two pathways. And it feels like coming out of that breakup and coming out of 2021, you were able to make sure that it went this way and not that way. And for the person that wants to create that outcome for them, whatever that looks like for them, and you mentioned cash flow, like cash flow is king. I'm curious, like when you give all of those things about getting an apartment, making $300,000, 30,000 new followers, what is it that you're doing on the day to day that is creating that outcome?
I've helped non-tech people get into tech and land multiple six-figure cybersecurity jobs, and I've done this more than
Who is this
anyone
nigga,
else
man?
in the world. And I want to show you.
That's a great question. I think what it looks like is a lot of inner work that starts accumulating and snowballing, right? So what I would say is like I said, I had to figure out who I was first so that I could build a vehicle that best fits me. I think people try to build a vehicle and then try to fit inside and then realize that the door is too small, or that the engine isn't good enough, or it won't last, or the tires are about to go out. I build a vehicle that's best for me, that's perfect for me. And I think that throughout that time period, it looked like every single day going to the gym, because there's no way that my mental is going to be able to take on the battles that I deal with in business. It's not possible with me not working out. So I said, all right, cool. I need to go to the gym. It needs to be a mandatory thing every single day. Now, after going to the gym, I had to start doing deep work. I had to start reading. Like, I think that when people don't open books, they truly leave a lot of gems and a lot of, they could deter certain mistakes if they just read the certain books. But nobody wants to put the time in. So you're basically saying, okay, I'm not going to put the time in to read the book to find the information. I'd rather lose my money by not knowing the information and then have to learn off of losing my money. You don't always have to learn off of losing money. You could also learn by, reading that book, watching the podcast, reading that article, attending a master class or some type of webinar or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You have to accumulate the information. And then once you accumulate the information, don't get analysis paralysis. Don't sit there and consume every single article and every single YouTube video and every single course to the point where you're like, all right, but what do I do? Or this is a little scary. You watched all these pros videos and now you're watching all the cons videos, and now you're super motivated at one point and now you don't want to do it because the cons are saying this, and now it's just do it. Stop thinking so much. Do it.
Just
whatever
get in the
it
game.
looks like, whatever skill set you're trying to attain, or whatever business you're trying to start, just do it. You'll figure it out along the way. I'm telling you. But I think if there was one thing that I can tell any individuals who's watching this, is just start. The fear, right? I made a post on Instagram recently where I was on the 35th floor of a hotel in Miami, and on the opposite side of the door, which is fear, right? So that entrance door is fear. On the other side of that is the life that you always wanted. Now I was just like, am I going to break through this door? Or I'm going to gently open the door, or I'm going to just look at it. I'm breaking through every time. That's how you obtain the life you want.
Yeah. And it's like and you can feel it. It's like the confidence. And I think it's also just understanding momentum.
Yeah.
And even as you were speaking about the 35 floors of a building in Miami, I think what a lot of people try and do, if you think about an elevator, right? When you're in an elevator, it's going through each floor.
Yeah.
So you might get in the lobby and put floor 35, but it's going to go floor 1, like it's going to go past all of those floors. I think the way that a lot of people try and do it, and it's what I tried to do early on with business, was you want to go right to floor 35.
Facts.
Off jump. You ain't trying to go floor 1, floor 2. You're trying to get right there perfect first time. And to your point, it's just about starting.
Yeah.
And if you have to be on floor 1 and you're spending hella time at floor 1, cool. Like that's where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things that you said, and I love it, is you said your mentality, and your mentality is kind of bulletproof, like it's tried and tested. And you spoke about going to the gym. And I think to a lot of people, especially people that don't work out that often, it doesn't make sense why you would draw the link between having $100,000 liquid in your bank account and turning up to go to the gym every day. It doesn't make sense why that would be linked. And I wanted to go to one of the things that you mentioned earlier, which was 75 Hard. And I'll give the context to it, and then I'm going to ask you something about it, which is, so 75 Hard, it's a program that will 100x your confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. And it focuses on 5 daily critical tasks. So the first one is 0 alcohol or cheat meals. The second one is complete 2 45-minute workouts every day, one of which must be outside. The third is drink a gallon of water every day. The fourth is read 10 pages of education or self-improvement every day. And then number 5 is take a progress picture every day. And it's funny because I've been seeing on your Instagram, I've been seeing you do this for like the last 2 months or so. Can you just talk about why is that experience, like why has it been so transformational?
A couple other things before I even go into that.
Okay.
I get up at 6 a.m. every day as a part of that challenge. And on top of that, no social media, the first hour and the last hour of the day.
That's some discipline right there.
Yeah, so I'm clearing out. What I've noticed is that when you consume all of the stuff on social media.
All right, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's 4:30 in the morning. I am extremely tired. I need to get some rest. I gotta be back up. I gotta be back up in 30 minutes. We gotta be back up in 30 minutes. So I'm gonna take me a quick little 30-minute nap, man. Thank y'all for watching, man. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. And always remember to shout out to my dads, man. Always remember your goals and dreams. What's gonna take your family to the next level. So let's like my friend told me, get your shit together, get some discipline, because right now you think you at a level, the level you think you at, you are way surpassed it. You feel me? So you need to start thinking on that level that you are actually at, man. So let's get to it as dads, man. Your goals and your dreams, again, is what's going to propel your family, your kids, to the next level, to the place where you want them to be at, man. So never stop dreaming, never stop working, and like dude said, just start. Like I said, just get in the game. Just get in the game. Because over time, you're going to look up and you 45 years old or 50 years old, and you're like, dang, I don't wasted time. So just start it up right now, man. Just start it up. But I'll see y'all later. Talk to y'all later. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Peace.